So before I started filming, I printed all my photos onto kind of a contact paper size of just over an inch. And I started punching those out at about 1 1/8 inch with a circle punch. Now I have all of these little pattern paper cameras, and these are from the February digital cut files. And I've just cut them out from different patterns from the newest 6" by 6" paper pad, which is called XOXO. I also used the Live Laugh Love collection and the Family Fun collection because I wanted a whole range of colors. This is definitely going to be a colorful page. And I'm just laying these out here just so I have a nice balance of color. I don't want two cool tones next to each other or two warm tones next to each other. I want to get that balance of color just right. So I've grabbed two different acrylic year embellishments, and this is the large 2017 in white. And I also have the small 2017 in black. Now the question is, will I use it in white or maybe recolor it with some kind of medium or go with the black? And right now when I look at the 2017 in black against all the color at the top, I feel like it really balances the bottom of the page just because of the weight of that dark title at the bottom. I'm also going to add this black pattern paper strip here, and that's from the Family Fun collection, just to add a bit more black and contrast to the page. So let me show you what I'm doing with my photos here. I've taken the 1 1/8 circle punch to punch my photo, and then I've taken a slightly larger circle to adhere to the back of the photo, and I'm going to place them in the middle of the camera die cut for each one. So here we go. I'm using some white scrap cardstock, and I'm just going to punch a bunch of white circles, and these are sized at 1 1/4 inch. Next, I'm taking my sheet of photos and I'm punching each circle out at 1 1/8 of an inch and just adding them to the cameras in the center. So now what I'm doing is layering my photo circles with the cardstock circles with dimensional adhesive on the bottom. So I'm just using a permanent adhesive to adhere the photo to the cardstock, and then dimensional adhesive to add the cardstock to the pattern paper camera base. Next, I'm going to show you the really clever way that I added my journaling beneath the photos. So I'm opening my camera die cut in the Silhouette Studio software, and you can see here that this has all the shapes included in the die cut, but what I want to do is make it so that it's the outline only. I'm going to start a new sheet here, 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to make sure that the registration marks are here because I'm going to do the print and cut feature. So I want to make sure my print border and my cut border are on, as well as the registration marks. So I'm just dragging, copying and pasting my camera in here, and I'm releasing the compound path so that I can take out all those little shapes, and all I have is the outline. Next, I'm going to draw a little tab on the side, a rectangle that goes through the left side of my camera, and this is going to become the place where I adhere the journaling tag to the camera front. So I'm going to select both shapes and weld that together so then they become one. So there you have a little tab on the edge of the camera there, but I also want to create a score line here so that the machine will cut it so that I can easily bend it. So you see there that I changed my line to a dashed line, and then I'm going to draw that all the way from the top to the bottom of the tab. So there you have your journaling tag bottom that you can then adhere to the pattern paper camera top. Next, I'm going to use this as the basis for my journaling space. I'm going to select the typeface tool. And remember that whenever you do anything in this software, it is going to create a cut line. So I'm going to show you how to get around that. So I'm going to choose my favorite font, which is called Rough Typewriter. It's the font that I use pretty much on every single layout. It's not a great one to cut, but it's great for adding small journaling. And I'm going to change the size of that to 12. And I'm just going to show you what it looks like when I start typing. And I'm going to make sure that my words fit inside that camera shape, because that's going to be the outline. So every time I see that a word is going to run over the edge, I'm going to start a new line. Okay, so you can see there that that is not creating a printable font there. What I'm going to do is highlight all of my words. I'm going to go up to this top box here and add a fill. The outline is going to be black, and there's my fill there. So I want a black fill as well. And that is what is going to allow me to print the journaling. So you would do the same thing for each camera shape that you have. So if you have 12 months of journaling, you're going to create 12 camera shapes with the cut line and then do 12 different journaling on the inside. And you want to fill up your 8.5 by 11 inch sheet. Once you're done doing that, then you go to print and print with your normal computer settings. And I used plain white cardstock here to do that. Okay, so you can see that I have printed out all of my journaling. You can see the registration marks here, and that's what's going to tell my silhouette how to cut so that the camera shape is directly on the outside of my journaling. So next, what you would do is go to send, and then you can see here that the journaling is creating cut lines there, and we definitely don't want that because we don't want to cut out our journaling. So I'm going to go back to my page design and just select my journaling and delete that. You can hit undo. After this, you can save it before this just to make sure that you save it all together. But I'm just going to go ahead and delete my journaling out to send it to the silhouette. So once I do that, I'm ready to send it with whatever paper settings you're using. I'm using plain cardstock. So now you can see here, I have my camera shape, and there's a little tab on the side. And because I made those score lines there, it's just easy and simple for me to fold that over. You don't even have to use a scoring tool. So now I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on that tab there. And you can make that wider if you choose. Mine is about probably 1/4 of an inch wide. And then I'm going to add my pattern paper camera on top and press that down. So it creates a little booklet there with the camera and the journaling behind. So this is definitely an interactive layout. It's definitely one to take out of the photo sleeves. And you can see here that these cameras are not laying flat because of that tab. So what I did to photograph my layout is just added a little bit of temporary adhesive to that journaling spot, just so that I could get a good photograph with all the cameras closed. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for each of the cameras so that I have all 12 months of my journaling added to the pattern paper cameras. So when you create a grid with this many shapes involved, it's a great idea to pull out a ruler so that you make sure that you get that grid really straight and that you line up all the edges perfectly. So especially when you have these cameras that can open, it can really throw your eye off of what is the best angle to place that camera. So it could look straight to you, but then when that camera opens, it might be a bit crooked. So I'm using my ruler and the bottom of my background page to be sure that my cameras are really nice and straight here. Okay, so you can see that I have everything down. This is the temporary adhesive I used to make sure those cameras stayed closed. That's a good idea to use those for when you photograph the layout, but you can always take that off before you put it in your photo sleeve. So I'm adding my manufacturer's strip here, just underneath my cameras. And I think that creates a really nice shelf to hold all of the weight of those pattern paper cameras above. And I'm just making sure that this is straight as well. And I'm going to clip off that excess. So I really liked this red here, and I wanted to kind of balance that strong red camera in my bottom right corner with this little tab at the top left. So that's going to create a really nice balance there, because that red polka dot paper, it's one of the first things I see when I glance at this layout. So I'm just going to add this little cherish this tab just to the top left corner. And I'm going to use my tiny attacher to just add a small bit of metal to that. Because this page is multicolored, I wanted to add a little bit of that to the bottom, just a small amount. This is a little die cut tag from the Elle Studio February kit. This kit is full of color, and that's kind of why I got the idea to create such a colorful layout. So I'm grabbing the title builder stamp, and this was a stamp that I designed with Elle Studio. And I'm going to add some words to my title. So I'm adding the words "the best" from the title builder stamp, and the word "of" from the new all the details stamp. And I love that they're different fonts. I love that the "of" word is larger and like a handwritten kind of font. So I think that's going to look really great with my 2017 here. I haven't used this stamp before, so I'm just making sure that it is primed and ready to go, ready to accept that ink. So I'm rubbing it with an eraser. And this is an eraser I've had since design school, so it's lasted a really long time. You can find those in any arts and crafts store. It's called a gum eraser. So at the bottom of my layout, I am stamping "Life is made of moments like this." And that phrase is also from the All the Details stamp. I can't really think of a better use of that stamp than a yearly wrap-up layout. So you can see there that I stamped "the best" and "of," so that can add that to my title right before 2017. And I'm going to add a liquid adhesive to my 2017 acrylic to just get that added on to my layout. You could also use glue dots, but this was handy and right next to me, so I went ahead and added that on. Okay, next I'm going to add a few pieces from my February kit and extras here. This little blue die cut star was included in the kit. So I'm going to add some adhesive to that and just stick that there. I'm also going to grab the star from the wood veneer icon set, and these are all circles with different icons in the center. And I'm going to tuck that just underneath of my title tag there. These are the Shapes and Dots puffy stickers, and I love that they come in a rainbow of colors, so I'm going to add a small yellow sticker there. Now, because I have so much color and so many photos, so many patterns going on at the top, there really isn't much embellishment needed at all on this layout. The last thing I'm going to add is a February blank label sticker. And because I like to save every little bit of these stickers, I'm just going to cut it off and save the other half. But you can see there that I have that cute little blue sticker there at the top. And I'm going to add a star. And I'll also stamp an arrow in there. This layout is just such a great way to cap off the end of a great year of memories. And I love seeing them all in different patterns, different colors. It's just a great layout to add to the end of my 2017 album. And I did it with the help of the February 2018 kit and add-ons from Elle Studio. Be sure to check out my video notes for all of the links for the products I used on this layout. And I hope you enjoyed watching. Leave me a comment and let me know if you have any other questions about changing that die cut file. And I hope you give this a try. Thanks so much and happy creating.